Hello and welcome to Shoreline Music Monthly. My name is Mark Koschwitz. This is episode 84 in our series where we bring you the best in local music in the Connecticut scene. It is now spring. This is Eclipse Week. So there's been a lot of things going on. Keep in mind the lineups for our local festivals are starting to come out. I'm not sure we're going to air beforehand, but the Meriden Daffodil Festival, the first week of May, has a wonderful lineup. Connecticut Rocks Festival is all through the mid-May with, I think they're up to 11 locations and dates. Capitol Groove is in June. Podunk will be dropping their lineup soon. I haven't seen Music on the River in East Haddam yet, but that'll be coming. So this is the time of year. All the lineups are starting to drop, so keep your eyes out. The Heartbeat Fest in Hartford will be back again this year. So be aware. And also just a quick shout out, in the last just week and a half, I've gone to a movie and a show at the Katharine Hepburn Center and seen a wonderful show as part of the George Flynn concert series. And we're blessed in this area. If you haven't looked up the offerings at the Kate or the George Flynn concert series, you should definitely look into them because the quality of music that they bring to our area is astonishing. And speaking of which, I've got a gentleman in the house who is going to play some wonderful music tonight on our show. I would like to welcome Christopher Abbott to the set.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
It is wonderful to see you, my friend. I know there was some wiggles and wobbles to get to get this together, but we're here now.
Yes, we are.
So welcome.
Thank you. Yeah.
So you play a roundabout. The Chris Abbott Band I see playing here and there. Sometimes I see you supporting the Terry LaChance Band. Terry's also a friend of the show. She's been on. Frank Natter.
Yeah.
Is one of your compadres out there playing, is also another one of the Shoreline Music Monthly folks. So you pick good folks to play with, my friend.
Yes, I've been very lucky in that regard, certainly with Frank. When I first started playing music here, it was solo. I met everybody at Gary Torello's open mic at La Vida. So every music connection I ever made was right there. And yeah, Frank and I hit it off pretty early on because what I like about Frank's playing is, he can switch genres very easily, and he kind of got me a little bit. And then I play with Terry, as you say. I've recorded with Terry about 3 or 4 albums now, and that's always a lot of fun. I also play with the Gary Torello Band as the lead guitarist for that band too. So yeah, I do get around
nice.
musically.
Very nice. What started, or when did music start for you? I mean, were you a childhood player, or?
Yeah, very early on. I knew that music was something I liked very early on, and then my dad used to tape the top 10 Sunday night radio. So all of the top 10 songs for that week, and so we would get these. And one of the things that my parents never did was restrict us on the kind of music that we could listen to. And as it happened, I very much just fell in with my dad's music because all the stuff that he liked, I liked. My mum went from the Beatles to Enya. I mean, it was quite a big scope. But my dad was much more guitar-driven. Much more guitar-driven stuff, and all my uncles played guitars and so on. So it was sort of a natural evolution.
So was there live playing, like the uncles in the house, kind of, or at the picnics, or?
So basically my whole family used to work for the Wellcome Foundation, which turned into GlaxoSmithKline now. And in England, in Beckenham, where they worked, there was a folk club, and in the late 70s, early 80s, all these people got together and played folk there. So as a child, I spent a lot of time listening to this, absorbing this. My mother sang in bands. My dad was a drummer and a guitarist.
So it was predetermined.
Yeah, pretty much.
You've got it built into your DNA.
Absolutely. But I didn't really start playing. My first guitar was actually given to me by my first boss. When I was about 14, I used to help I'd walk to school, help set up a market stall, go to school, come back, break it down. And he lent me a guitar to play, which was an Epiphone kind of Les Paul copy. And that was when I decided I didn't like them. They were too heavy. But I learned to play on this before.
So you started with electric?
I started with an electric guitar.
Okay.
And I was not allowed to use the amp until I had learned to tune it. And so my dad bought me some pitch pipes. And I learned to tune by ear. And I think that's probably the reason why now, even now, like everything I do is auditory. So I play by ear. I don't read music. I don't really understand it too much. But most of the time, I just can absorb and play and pick up as I'm going.
And when things sound good, they sound good.
That's right,
Yeah.
And over the years, I've been less and less concerned about making that bum note, whereas early on, it would cripple me. But not so much now, because now I know that, the next note's good, people will remember that one.
Yeah, you can just keep going.
Yeah.
Just keep going. As long as you end right.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
That's
Beginnings and ends.
Got a candle on the mantle and a fire burning strong. Strawberry jam on thick white toast, all burnt at the edges. There's an old broken window, slates are off the roof, yeah. Drains are all blocked up now. In this place we once knew, battered and lost, but not forgotten. Oh, not forgotten. Winter winds blow cold as ice, get you right through to the bone. And there was miles of old stone brickwork, ooh, but it's shattered and gone, turned to dust, but not forgotten. Forgotten. Miles of coastline, mottled and gray, rocks and great white horses hanging high into the bay. Rusty railings, broken pipes, windows all but gone, and sodden bits of broken wood that once had shapes that we would know, now ripped from the earth, but not forgotten. Not forgotten. He keeps his focus on his tasks, has to work on through the day, fixing broken drains and crumbled walls. Ooh, this old place we once knew, rescued from dust, forgotten, not forgotten, not forgotten. Ooh, not forgotten, not forgotten, not forgotten. Yeah, not forgotten, not forgotten, not forgotten.
You were talking about, growing up was not here.
No, no.
So what brought you across the pond?
Several opportunities. Initially love, but that didn't quite work out. But the other opportunities did. And I was looking to find a new place to develop myself, and I just felt that there was nowhere to go in England. I'd reached the level of which I was going to reach at certain career positions. I just didn't have what I needed at that time to sort of push myself forward. And then when I came here, it was all new, and I could really set my own limits as to what I wanted to do. And I've achieved so much more in the 14 years I've been here than I did prior.
No, haven't even mentioned it yet, but you're a many times over published author,
Right.
Which we'll touch on that. But this is about the music.
Sure, yeah, I agree. Okay. I absolutely agree.
But did you write when you arrived here, or were you writing in England?
The first book I published was a book called Sir Lawrence Dies, and I published it here. But I had been writing it since 2009, and I published it in 2014. That first book, that was something I wanted to do. But what happened was, or I guess what drove me to do it, was that when I moved here, I could only work for a short period of time whilst my visa was being transferred, and so there was a block of about 3 months where I was not allowed to work. So I thought, I'll just write this book then. I've been sitting there, maybe I should do that.
Because I've read, I think it was the first of the Sherlock Holmes books that you. I mean, I don't know how many you have now.
About 20 now.
Wow, yeah, that's astonishing. Yeah, I enjoyed it. What did I just? Songs of Osiris.
Yes. Oh, the Songs of the Osiris. Yes.
Osiris. Yes. I just tracked that down, knowing you were coming on. I said, I need to read some of this stuff.
Yeah, that's more fantasy-based work. I did a whole series of those. I did 4 or 5 books of that.
It's kind of cool though, because music's all involved there too.
Right.
I've got them very early on, but I already know that music is a thing there. But
yeah,
very
music
cool.
is very, very much a part of my life, and I like to get it into everything that I do. So if I'm going to write, I like to do it in a sort of a lyrical way. But what I do is I listen to specific genres of music that are specific to the writing. So I had this Egyptian kind of music that really went with the writing, and it enabled me to sort of write prose that was lyrical and poem style, which I think helped with that story, because I think the whole point was that these people used songs as their magic. But yeah, so songs and music, that's my thing.
Now, do you think any of listening to that genre, has any of that pulled into your guitar playing? Different scales and things that you've...
Yes, definitely. I mean, I experiment with different things. My biggest problem is that I'm dyslexic, so I don't tend to remember a lot of what I try to remember. So I get away with 10, 15, 20%, that's good. So I just keep learning, over and over. But what makes me a better player, and I think you know this, is playing with somebody who's better than you.
Absolutely.
That's why I play with Frank.
And different than you, too.
Well, sure. But people that challenge
helpful.
you, push you, and people that make you want to play a little better. It's the same with writing as well, when you're up against people who have got New York Times bestseller titles,
Right.
You've got to work a little harder for that.
Here we are now. The house is the same as it was before. Oh, the kitchen's a state, the carpet, the curtains, the bathroom door. Yeah, the locks don't work. We might as well have the keys outside. It's a dark, awful place. Come around and see. Take a ride. But nobody wants to come around here. Nobody wants to drum around here. Never the time, lemon and lime, say that you're mine. 'Cause I'm yours, you know. Here we are now. The windows are broken and so's the floor. There's only one plate, one knife, one spoon, and the girl next door. Yeah, she's pretty, she's cute. I bet she can shoot from the hip, you know. I'll take her downstairs to the cellar and watch her perform the show. And nobody wants to come around here. Nobody wants to drum around here. Never the time, lemon and lime, say that you're mine. 'Cause I'm yours, you know. Here we are now, it's time to go, said the girl next door. But the show, the glow, the warmth from your presence, I need more. Oh, and the house and the mouse that's chewing the plaster wrapped round my toe. It hurts and this place is driving me mad, don't you know? Oh, oh, oh yeah, nobody wants to come around here. Nobody wants to drum around here. Never the time, lemon and lime, say that you're mine. 'Cause I'm yours, you know.
All right, I am back with Christopher Abbott, and he has foolishly agreed to play From the Hip with me, my silly little game where I will just ask some, they're not odd questions, but they maybe wouldn't be, some of them would come up in an interview and some wouldn't, but they're just, it's a thing.
Sure.
Tea or coffee?
Oh, good question. Coffee.
Okay.
Absolutely. I mean, I like tea and I do drink tea, but I don't drink it right. So it's probably why they asked me to leave England.
Well, I see many pictures of large coffee mugs, so
Yes, I drink
I
coffee.
assumed I knew the answer to that. But you know, I'm thinking, well, England.
I'm a
I mean,
coffee
is
guy,
it
yeah.
legal? All right, Dr. Phil or Dr. Who?
Oh, Doctor Who, without any question. Yes.
All right, we are now entering, soon entering what I like to consider roller coaster season.
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yes, with a caveat. My husband likes the roller coasters. I carry the bags.
All right.
But
Very
we
nice.
have like all the top passes for Six Flags. We'll be going next week for our
Very
first
nice.
trip.
My son and I traveled hither and yon for a couple of years to find the tallest and fastest, because there was one in Ohio and then it was in New Jersey, and I think the ship might have sailed on that for me at this point.
I'm not. I'm terrified of them.
And I know the answer to this one as well, but they may not. Your favorite guitar player?
Mark Knopfler.
Boom.
Or Frank Natter.
Hedge your bets. Well, see, usually I say your favorite guitar player that you don't know personally, and I neglected to add that in. So
Okay.
you were wise to slide in Frank, because he is a skilled man.
You know, there are 2 or 3 guitarists in this area that I watch, and I'm amazed at how they play. There's one in this room here.
Behind the camera.
Behind the
helping
camera.
out here. Yes.
Frank is obviously another one that I love. Don Giroux is another.
You know, I have never managed to catch him play yet. I mean to.
Robin Ford meets Eric Clapton meets lots of other people. He has the most dynamic and interesting sound. He taught me a lot.
Nice.
Of
Bruce Thorndike spoke highly of him one day when we were chatting, and
Right.
ever since then I had meant to see him, and there's so much talent,
I know.
and so little time.
I know. And everybody's playing on the same nights.
Right?
Right.
We got to work on that.
We all share the same audience.
Your favorite dessert?
Oh, I don't know. Tiramisu.
Okay.
There you go.
And
like
then
that one.
this is a corollary to the dessert question. Cannolis, are they a suitable dessert food?
Well, not for me, because I'm not a fan of cream things or pudding things. So I don't really like cannolis. I don't like that stuff inside.
I am with you 100%.
Yeah, I'm
but
not a fan.
We're in the minority, my friend.
I know. Everybody else thinks they're wonderful.
And just the last question, if you can recall, do you know what the first music that you purchased yourself with your own money was?
Yes, I do. It was Rick Astley's first album.
Okay.
I bought that as a
I
tape.
did not see that coming.
Yep, that's it. That's the first one I bought, yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for playing my silly little game.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
I look into grey eyes that look so old. He never talks about the things he's seen. The lines on his face so deep and cold. A road map of things he's been through. Mud and debris, shrapnel and pain. He takes the punishment, he knows the score. Frightened and cold in the flashes of gunfire, fighting for the freedom that he once knew. Old soldiers and heroes, they come and they go. Scarred on the inside, take their places on monuments. Oh, cast in bronze and stone. Tangled wood all twisted and broken. He sees redemption ahead in the fight. He pushes forward, but not for a medal. He wants to start to save his soul. Crossing into places he's never seen. He's tired of the things that make him cry. Hungry for life, hungry to live. Fighting for the freedom that he once knew. Old soldiers and heroes, they come and they go. Scarred on the inside, take their places on monuments. All cast in bronze and stone. I look into grey eyes that look so old. He never talks about the things he's seen. Lines on his face so deep and cold. A road map of things he's been through.
Thank you once again for watching Shoreline Music Monthly. And remember, these folks are out there down the street from your house playing on the weekend, some weekdays even. Now we're heading into summertime. The town concert series will be opening up too, and around the towns, just in our local area, there's every night of the week you could go see live music if you would like. And it wouldn't cost you a dime. Just remember, you are the local in the local music scene, so please get out, see a show, say hello to the folks that are doing the work. And we will see you next month. Take care.